How's it going, guys? This is Cherokee Ronnie back at you with another video, and this, as you can tell by the title, is the most asked questions that I get and I see on Jeep forums and Jeep clubs and Jeep sites, and just questions people ask all the time, and I'm here to answer them for you so I can shed a little light with my own experience and other people's experience and just plain old common sense and the old knowledge brain here, the knowledge brain. First off, I see this 100 times a day. Dana 35 or Chrysler 8 1/4. Here is a Dana 35. And here is a Chrysler 8 1/4. The 8 1/4 has like a flat spot on the bottom and it has a rubber plug, and your Dana 35 it's kind of more round and it should have a bolt. Some have rubber plugs because people strip out the bolt holes because they think they gotta torque them down like He-Man. Alright, question number 2 that I get and see daily is my Jeep is running at 220. Is this bad? Is it going to blow a head gasket? Now, your Jeep usually runs from 210 to 220, just depending where you're at and what thermostat you have. I run a stock 195 thermostat, so when it's cooler outside in the 50s and 40s, my Jeep runs around 210, 215, believe it or not. And now down here in West Virginia, it gets pretty hot, around 80, 90 degrees in the summertime, and my Jeep runs from 225 to 230, and sometimes even up 240 sitting in traffic. They're hot-natured motors. They tend to get a little hot, just like I said, depending on the thermostat that you're running, what you're doing, if you're sitting in traffic, wheeling, or anything, and how gunked up your system is. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Alright, another question I always get is, will an older door fit an older Cherokee? Well, you can get on Google and be a keyboard warrior. Get on there and okay, they say, yeah, just got to move the latch up. The last 2 Jeeps that I put an older door on, I moved the latch up, I loosened it up, moved the latch up far as it will go, and the door will still not fit. It was 1 inch and something off. So what I had to end up doing is, on these 2 Jeeps, I had to take the latch off the door, move it up, make sure it's shut, mark it, and actually weld it on. And it's stuck with that door now, because the newer doors are actually nicer and they don't have the little wing window thing going on. I don't like the older doors, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So if you have any experience with changing older doors with newer Jeeps or vice versa, and you didn't have to run into that problem, leave it in the comments below. But no, they will not interchange. Another question I get all the time, will the hatch fit off a 97 on a 96? No. 96 and down, all the way, the first generation Jeep use fiberglass hatches. 97 all the way up to the ending period of the XJ used metal hatches, and it's a totally different design. The taillights are different on the newer Cherokees and the older Cherokees. And 96 is when, little fun fact for you, 96 is when they went to OBD2 but kept the old style Jeep look, old style everything, but they changed to the new plug-ins, just depending where, what year yours was made, like what month yours was made. I run into a lot of problems changing fuel pumps with used fuel pumps, and older ones won't fit 96 even though it's the same body style, because they have the newer plugs, older fuel pump. Other questions that I get is, will a Grand Cherokee wheel fit on a Jeep Cherokee? Well, yes, they will, because it's the same pattern. Believe it or not, the Ranger is the same pattern. Off of a Ranger will fit a Cherokee, off a Grand Cherokee will fit a Cherokee. The 90s models, like the late 90s models, Mustang wheels will actually fit a Cherokee. That's what mine's off of. The Buick LeSabres and stuff, they're same bolt pattern. I'll leave the bolt pattern right here. Now, another question that I get, will a 95 Jeep Cherokee steering column fit a 94? No. They will not interchange, because 94 and all the way down to the beginning of the XJs actually used GM steering columns. They're totally different and they will not plug and play. Now, will S10 steering columns fit in your older Jeeps? No. I recently just went through this. You have to do a lot of modifications. I bought five GM steering columns out of S10s, and they would not fit my Jeep Cherokee. I don't know where people was getting this from. The S10 fits. Yes, it plugged and played. Everything plugged in good. It actually worked my blinkers. But when I went to go mount it up to the firewall, it's totally different. And I said, oh well, I'll put some zip screws through it, and or maybe even drill some holes and put nuts and bolts in it. Well, after I got it lined up, it hit the unibody of the Jeep. So if anybody could shed some light on that bad boy, leave it in the comments below. But for right now, we're going to say S10 steering columns won't fit 94 and down Jeeps. And I get this all the time. Will 95 steering columns fit 97? Anything from 96 down will not, like steering column, this is steering column. Anything from 95 and down will not fit 97 and up Cherokees because they went to a totally different style steering column. Another question that I get every once in a while, it comes out of the dark, is will a header panel off of a 97 Cherokee fit the older Cherokees? Yeah, they fit. I'll leave a picture. They fit. It's a little different because the new ones are rounded and the old fenders are kind of square, so it don't really match up as good. It's better just to change the fenders and the hood and the whole front header panel. But if you don't have, if that's all you got laying around, it would work for the time being. And that I get often, will a older transmission fit in the new Cherokees? No. They may be an Asian Warner or all W4 or AW4. The plugs are totally different. That you can make them work by splicing the wires and figuring out what's what, but other than that, no, it's not plug and play. You have to stay from 95 and down and 96 and up. It just depends on your 96 though, because I have a 96 over there that it has the newer style transmission. It's got the new plugs. Then I have another 96 that was like the first generation of the 96, and it has the older transmission. I mean, they're the same transmission, but it has the older plugs, so you just gotta watch with that. And another question I get is, are 4.0s different? A 4.0 is a 4.0 regardless what people tell you. Now this is coming out of a Cherokee. I'm not talking about taking out of a Grand Cherokee, putting it in a Wrangler, or taking it out of a Wrangler and putting it in a Cherokee. This is strictly coming out of another Cherokee, put into another Cherokee. For example, I got a 95 Cherokee with low mile 4.0. I want to put it in my 2000 Cherokee. It can be done. You just got to take everything off of the 2000 motor and put on the older motor to make it work, then set it down in yours, make sure you have it in time. A 4.0 is a 4.0. It don't matter what it is. All the components can be swapped from the newer one to the old one. How do I know? Because I've actually witnessed this and I've actually done it, helped. So it's as simple as that. Just a little more time consuming instead of going to the junkyard or your buddies and getting one from the exact model. The question is, how hard is it to convert a two-wheel drive to a four-wheel drive? Well, it's actually pretty easy. You got to find an old donor. What I like to do is find a wrecked one. It's been totaled. Make sure all the front end parts and everything's still good. Take the front end out. Make sure it's the same gears, which pretty much, I would say 80% of your Cherokees had 355 gears in them, so they're pretty much all the same. Dana 30 and Dana 35s or Chrysler 8 1/4s. But you got to have your front end, transmission, transfer case. We use the dry shaft, and you have to have the wiring harness that goes to the coil and to the computer and stuff like that. Other than that, it should be good. Unbolt the plate in the floor for the four-wheel drive shifter, and it works just good. We already went through this last year. It's a good Jeep, nothing wrong with it, still driving today. So it's another question that we get. Will a windshield out of an older Cherokee fit my 2000 Cherokee? Yes, they're all the same. All the windshields are the same. The older ones had chrome trim and the new ones have a rubber seal. How do I know? Well, I got an older windshield, mine actually. Mine is a 98 and I have a 94 windshield in it. So I just have experience in some of this stuff. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure you like and subscribe if you have a YouTube. And if you want to see another video like this, a part 2, leave it in the comments below what questions you want to get answered. I'll try my best to answer that.